Uh, well, hello. Good morning for me. It's a bit later.
Yeah. Good morning, Nikoleta. Here it's good evening, but yeah. Whoever is watching right now, welcome to the fifth session of Music and Mental Health Online Reflections. And today we have me, Benjamin Komagum, or you can call me Benjamin Spartos. And we also have Nicoleta, and we'll be introducing ourselves shortly after. And Um, maybe just to give a little introduction about who I am. I'm an artist who believes in the power of music in advocating for mental health. And I believe in that because music has helped me battle. Music has helped me um, through the severe levels of depression that I've been battling for over 5 years. And because of that, I feel like if I can write songs about what I've been going through, and they can help me heal and recover from my depression. It can help somebody else out there. It can, um, it could not be exactly how I did it, but then it could help them. And because of that, I picked up interest and tried to understand that there are different other alternatives to music as a form of therapy for mental health. I got to learn about different other forms of mental health and how to stay safe, how to just um, help myself and help others. As I got to realize that mental health conditions are not things that uh, get like you can, what do they call it? You can recess. You can get back to the same condition you had because of different triggers or the same triggers that you had before. So most times it's about being conscious and aware about all these kind of things. Okay. Besides that, I'm an artist and I have been doing music for about 7 years now. And yeah, so Nicoleta, over to you.
Oh, thank you, Benjamin. Hello, my name is Nikoleta, and I will be joining the team for the first time. This is my first online reflection session. Um, I'm currently in Buffalo, United States of America. However, I come from Greece. I am very close to finishing my degree in psychology, and I'm very passionate about many things when it comes to mental health, but most importantly, about being able to normalize talking about mental health more, because this is something that doesn't happen very often, whether that is in the United States or in Greece or in Uganda. I know that people, it's very hard for them to come forward and speak about mental health problems. We have done a really bad job promoting them as something that makes us weak and something that we should be embarrassed for when we feel bad or sad or depressed or having anxiety. And that's why I'm very excited to be able to join this team right here, because I really want to advocate for the fact that it is absolutely normal for us to come forward and speak about this. There are so many different ways that we can deal with stuff. As Benjamin says, music is that, arts, sports. I'm also an athlete, I'm a tennis player. So sports is another way that you can help yourself through these difficult moments. And just have some conversations here to be able to take the burden off people that feel like they're alone in this, and you're not alone. We've been through that. I've been through that too. Benjamin has been through that, and it's more people than you actually imagine.
Thanks a lot, Nicoleta. That was really nice, And many times I feel so good to know that I'm having a conversation with someone who's gone through who's battled mental health challenge, just like me. It makes me feel less tense when I'm talking about the subject. But I think it's something that many other people can reflect with. Many times you find that someone is afraid to talk about something because they don't think that there's anybody out there who identifies with them or who can understand what they're going through. They feel like if they talk about something like not having the control over maybe their emotions or some of the things that they used to have control over. It may sound like something stupid, something funny for people to laugh about. So and that gets me to the reason as to why we have or why I started having these online reflections. And one of the biggest goal is to create an online platform, an online place where people um, can be free to talk about mental health challenges, to talk, to learn about mental health challenges. So it can be a space where um, um, nobody can feel afraid about sharing their experience, about listening to somebody who has battled from these experiences, about learning how to um, do better when it comes to healing and how to, when it comes to supporting others. You know, many times when they talk about caretakers and caregivers, that's a very big term, you know, in mental health, in the mental health sector, because caregivers play a very big role, and sometimes they are victims um, to get a mental health condition, whether temporary or permanent, and because of that, this space is very important. Many times, because of my depression, I felt like, uh, can I talk to my family? Can I talk to my friends? Can I talk to my workmates about what I'm going through? Can I talk to my sisters? But then, can I talk to some of my leaders? But there was always that question, and every time you saw some of the leaders talking I would say, funny way, but talking in a negative way about mental health challenges, you find that they are not responsive to some of these challenges because they're not aware about them, and because of that, it creates that kind of gap. What happens if I have a breakdown? What happens if somebody else does have a breakdown? Am I going to be tied up and beaten up because I'm acting weird? Am I going to be rushed for medical attention? Am I going to be given the right first aid that I can actually have? So because of all these kind of questions, these online reflections are a space where all these questions can be answered, where the myths around mental health challenges, like how many times people with mental health challenges are being called mad and crazy and all those kind of things, not human, So it's because of those kind of questions, it's because of those myths that we want to uh, clear them. We want to get rid of them. We want to make mental health matters, or talks about mental health, something that people are free to talk about, people are comfortable talking about. And yeah, so these sessions will be happening every week, and they will be happening every Mondays from 6 to 7. And we are looking forward to having so many different topics, during each session. We want to tackle as many topics as possible. And we're also giving an open space for you people who are watching in, who are listening in, who are joining in, to suggest some of the topics that you feel maybe you may want us to talk about. We might have talked about these topics before, but you might feel like, okay, there's something that you probably have left out. Maybe, throw more light on something like this. Um, nobody is, this is a space where nobody is above the other. And you don't feel intimidated by me or by Nikoleta or by anybody else who's in the panel for any of these discussions. The beauty about these discussions is they're supposed to bring out something beautiful, something positive in the mental health sector for for both sides. And for both sides, I mean Ugandans and where Nikoleta is right now, and in the US. I feel like um, there are so many things we can learn from each other. There's so many things that there are so many challenges we have faced on both sides as Ugandans, and I won't say Ugandans, I'll say as people in Uganda and people in the US. Um, and there are solutions that have been put in place. And if we can share some of these things, I think they would help a lot to just um, grow the knowledge around mental health matters, and hopefully improve, some kind of positivity around the area and build more self-esteem. Yeah, so then that brings me to today's topic, which is Introduction to Mental Health. And we just wanted to start from the basics. I know the very first session, I tackled some, I did some intro to mental health conditions, but I still feel like I didn't do enough. And when it comes to mental health challenges, I think we need to talk about them more often so that it becomes part of us. It becomes something whereby if we see someone who's battling a mental health challenge, we know what to do instead of laughing or instead of running away or whatever things people do when they see somebody having an attack. We act immediately and instantly, and hopefully that's something that will save lives. Hopefully that's something that will encourage more people battling mental health challenges to seek for support, and hopefully that will reduce on the number of deaths that we are seeing, the number of deaths that apparently are very alarming, but then a number of people don't think mental health challenges or mental health disorders are a threat, and yet they're one of the top leading causes of death worldwide. So for me, I feel like this is going to be really nice. And okay, so Nikoleta, do you want to give us a definition for mental health and maybe mental health disorders, if it's fine?
I think that you can find a lot of ways to describe and define mental health. I always try to put it in the words of how we see physical health. So it's a state or the well-being that it has to do with mental capacities, mental abilities, the feelings of feeling good with yourself, the same way that we define physical health, feeling physically well when you're not basically injured, when your head doesn't hurt, when you have not sprained your ankle. This is what we call being physically healthy. The same way we're talking about mental health, to be able to feel good in ourselves, to feel good in our brains, to feel like we're comfortable and safe inside our own bodies, which sometimes it's not what happens, and that's okay. And we can speak more about that, how it is okay to not feel good to be by yourself, completely by yourself, and to not feel happy with what you're doing at the moment or who you are at the moment. And we all go through these phases that we have crisis with what's going on in our lives. And a mental health disorder is basically the extreme of negative emotions or negative conditions. For example, a person can feel sad, but it's different than feeling depressed. So that's why many times when someone says that I'm depressed, people don't take it into such a big deal because they say that you're just sad. But there's a big difference between feeling sad and feeling depressed. Feeling depressed means that, for example, you have extreme symptoms of sadness. You're changing the way that you see life. You don't feel so much pleasure in doing the things that you used to do. And that's for a prolonged period of time. It has to be 2 weeks or more. Feeling sad can be one day, and then the next day you're fine. Or it can be days here and there. So there's a big difference. And that's why it's very important to use the right vocabulary when we talk to people about this stuff. Same thing with anxiety. If we feel stress, some days here and there, everybody experiences stress in their lives. And this is the normal reaction of being scared for something, and then our stress levels go up. But anxiety is this constant state of feeling stressed, this constant state that something will go wrong, that I'm so scared of something that will happen in the future. And something very general to think about depression and anxiety is that depression will get very stuck in the past on what had happened in the past. And we stay thinking about all the things that went wrong in the past, our mistakes. And then anxiety is more like the future, the uncertainty of what is going to happen in the future. Am I going to be okay in the future? A lot of us, I've experienced anxiety. I still experience anxiety from day to day. And I've learned to control it more and more. And the key to that for me was to accept it, to accept that this is not going to go away. And it's okay because it protects me from other things. But the key with anxiety is sometimes what happens is that we're so stressed about feeling stressed that this is just a cycle that keeps continuing. Same thing with depression. We are so aware that we're feeling so sad and more sad than other people, and it doesn't go away. And we keep staying in this condition of, I'm sad, and that's why I feel more sad, and it keeps going away and around. And as Benjamin was saying, it is very important to find the people that we trust, because even someone is close to you doesn't mean that it's the right person to talk to them, because perhaps they won't be responsive. They might say something wrong that it might affect you even more. It has happened to me too. I have a dear friend. I love her so much. However, in a very difficult place in my life, she said something that was wrong. She responded in the wrong way. And I did not like that particularly. I still love her. That doesn't mean she's a bad person. She just did not know how to respond, which is why we're having these reflections, not only for the people that are in these conditions and they're feeling sad, anxious, maybe they're having some problems with alcohol and drugs and anything else, but also the people that want to be part of these conversations and how you can respond to someone who comes to you and tells you, I need help, I'm not doing well. So this is a good start, I think.
Ah, that's beautiful. So I loved when you put it that way, especially when it comes to um, just generally, the way people, feel like mental health challenges or mental health conditions are something related to just small feelings or small emotional changes. And I think it's really important to try and break that, or try and see what how to what's the word how to know the difference between being sad and actually being depressed. And yeah, and maybe for those who are wondering what's depression, then uh, the usual definition they usually say, um, depression is an uncontrollable extreme low mood, you know. So I think what makes it a mental health disorder is the fact that it's not controllable. Imagine if all of a sudden, um, without your control, um, you feel so low that even when usually the things that actually excite you, or things that anybody can actually feel so happy about, you 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 just can't be happy, even when some tiny part of you really wants to really break out and be happy, you know. And depression is way more than just that. It's about putting up a face, a very happy face, and people assuming that you're actually okay, and yet you're really burning inside, trying to um um act like you're fine, just so that you can hide what you're feeling, the pain. So oh yeah, okay, so uh maybe we can talk about some of the common problems, um, or the common mental health challenges. Um, Nicoleta talked about some of them, but yeah, anxiety disorders, and we talked about depression and bipolar. Um, and I think all of these, I think we can have sessions or moments where we can talk about these different topics individually, and go into depth about how to deal with them, about uh, literally what solutions have been available, or in different countries, especially here in Uganda and also in the US. So Yeah, okay, so there's some eating disorders that are mental health disorders. We have post-traumatic stress disorder, which is something that is very common here, especially in the northern Uganda, where we've had a lot of wars in the past. So a lot of people have battled, and even now, some of them are still battling PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. And yeah, we have some psychotic disorders like schizophrenia, and you know, some of these terms sound very like uh, complicated and kind of new to us. But then eventually, when you get to learn about what the condition is, you might be surprised that you probably have met someone who is battling some of these conditions, or somebody in your family, or just somebody you probably met on the streets or at the hospitals when you're going to get treatment. So and I think that's the beauty about why we have this why we're having these reflections, so that we can improve our awareness about mental health challenges, so that we can improve how we are engaging with these mental health challenges. And generally, this today's session or today's session is mostly just going to look at a general idea of what we're going to be looking at. And for me, for a very long time, I've had a big problem. I don't know how it is over your side, Nicoleta, but then me, I've had a big problem with our leaders, in, say, politicians and religious leaders, and um, literally people that are holding big positions, because I feel like most of them are sending the wrong image on our side. They're sending a wrong image when it comes to mental health challenges. Most of them, the truth is, okay, I won't say the truth is, but you'll be surprised at how many leaders are actually battling some mental health challenges. And many of them probably don't find it okay to actually talk about it publicly, or to say, okay, I'm probably battling this, or I battled this, or my son is battling this. They'll probably pay off the news and media to kind of cover up everything and make sure it doesn't go public. But me, I feel like if such kind of people stand up and talk about these things the right way, actually, not just talking about them, but the right way, you'll find that, okay, religious leaders talk about mental health challenges in a particular way. And that makes it totally not possible for somebody who is battling a mental health challenge to come to, say, a pastor or whoever, uh, whichever religious leader is there, to talk about what they're going through and to ask for help, because of how it's brought up publicly. They make it look like, okay, if you're battling a mental health challenge, it's associated to something else. But okay, probably that would be something for another topic. But I don't know what you think about it. How is it on your side? Is it the same that side, or it's kind of different?
Well, it is pretty similar. And also, when we talk about the religion and mental health, we have to understand that mental health disorders have been around forever. It's just that people did not know that what they were experiencing was mental health challenges, and they were calling them something else. So when you see, for example, sometimes in pastors, in movies from a long time ago, or maybe there are places still in the world that does that, that say you have demons in your head, and they try to make like an exorcism. There's not actually demons in your head. It's probably these people experiencing schizophrenia, as Benjamin said, or experiencing depression, and going to talk to someone and telling them, I cannot control the way I feel. I have a voice in my head that tells me that. That's very common in mental health challenges. You might have a voice in your head that is telling you all the time negative things that you don't want to hear. And ages ago, people were going to someone to talk about it. And the answer was, you have demons in your head. So mental health challenges have been around forever. It's just that we were not sure what it is. We did not know what that was. And there's not enough people of power and authority that come forward and are coming and telling us, yes, I also experienced that. Because if someone that comes and tells you, someone that you look up to, someone comes and tells you, I experience depression from time to time, I experience anxiety, then it's so much easier for you to come forward and say that too. In the US, actually, the statistics show that 1 in 4 adults suffer from any kind of mental health disorder. These are way too high statistics for us to not talk about it. And anyways, basically to put it in an understanding of common understanding, if you're not battling a mental health disorder, then definitely one person that you know is battling a mental health disorder. This is just the way it is. So this is something we need to talk more about because it is everywhere. It is so common. And when we don't talk about these things, and when we stay silent and we keep it all inside and we pretend that this is not something that we're supposed to talk to, that is when it becomes dangerous, as Benjamin said, because you feel alone, you feel more isolated, and then it becomes more negative than it already is. It's already very hard to deal with a mental health disorder, let alone spending all this time alone in your head and not talking about it.
Okay. So that takes us to. I'd like us to talk about some of the simple signs that we should probably look out um, to maybe start thinking about maybe looking for support or researching about what we are going through. Some of the signs that might point towards a mental health challenge or disorder. And, most of them revolve around, say, if you're having trouble sleeping, disrupted sleep, um, say if you have a change in appetite, and 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 this is not just something that happened once in a while, but if you study yourself and realize that, okay, for the past um few, I don't know, weeks or months, um my appetite has actually changed. It has either maybe gone very high or gone very low. um yeah, that's something that would be worth seeking a professional to help, say, run a simple mental health test to help you understand what you're going through. It could be nothing, but then it's better to just understand what you're going through. And say, of course, there's a loss of joy, and all these things. The only way you can literally try and understand them is if you're comparing them over a period of time, something that a significant change that has happened within your life. Um, of course, I know we all lose joy once in a while, and we get happy, but then if it's something that has happened consecutively over a period of time, then uh, that's something you need to uh, be looking out for. And low energy, um, you might not have, say, interest in some of the things that you used to do. Could be physical activities, or just maybe going out, or just fatigue, um, those kind of things. I don't know if there's anything that I may have left out, Nicoleta, that you could add in.
Um, yeah, just some general things, because sometimes loss of joy is a little bit too general. You can think of something you used to like in the past a lot, but now it doesn't seem so pleasurable to do. So that can be something you can understand. And then disturbed sleeping, as Benjamin said, what that could look like, that could be that you stay up in your bed and it's so hard for you to fall asleep over again. A lot of days happening in a row, a lot of weeks happening in a row. Or you waking up all the time, having a lot of nightmares. That is also something that could be a sign of anxiety, for example. And then wanting to be a little bit more alone, wanting, like as Benjamin said, low energy. What does that look like? Feeling more tired, feeling more fatigued, feeling you want to spend more time in bed, or the opposite of not getting enough sleep, wanting to sleep a lot of hours, like 13 hours, 10 hours, not wanting to basically go out and live your day, but most stay in bed and sleep a lot of hours. These are, I think, the more common ones that we see, and these are the easier ones to spot. So if you just see those over a few weeks happening, don't be alarmed if it happens one day or two. That's not a big deal. But if it happens over a long period of time, then this is something worth talking about.
Um, yeah. So, okay. How am I going to bring this in? Meanwhile, if there's anybody who, wants to ask a question, you can just type it in the chat and we'll see how to respond to the question. And for those who'll be watching this video later on, feel free to leave your comments in. We will attend to them. We'll respond to them. And yeah, we know sometimes these meetings may be happening in a time when you're not available or when you're probably engaged, and we're looking for the best way to reach out to you. So if you're not able to join in the meetings live, you can always watch these videos and you can always share them with someone you feel might benefit from them in one way or the other. So yeah, I think something I didn't talk about the online reflections is why they're called music and mental health. Um, as as a musician, I have had an interest and a passion of using music as a form of therapy for mental health. And part of the objective for this online reflections is to introduce music therapy um, to us, to help us understand what it is, um, um, how we can um, how we can use music therapy to help ourselves heal, how we can use it as an additional form of therapy, um, how we can use it in our daily life. You don't have to have a mental health challenge, but you can use music as a form of therapy to help yourself um, positively uh, heal, or good mental health, as World Health Organization puts it. So yeah, literally, okay, technically, music therapy is the practice of carefully using music um, to provide um, a therapeutic kind of experience to someone. And it's a practice that is studied, and many times you say we have musical whether we have music therapists who have gone to school and actually have studied. I haven't, and most of my experience with music therapy has been based on my online research, and and it's a reason as to why I don't go so deep into it at the moment. But at the time when, say, I have studied enough, maybe I will. Now I work with what I know and for me, and also some of the experiences that I have um, had with some music therapists that I have are friends of mine. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons as to why we're having these online reflections, and it's just to help us realize some of the things that we may have ignored, and yet some of these things may have helped us even without us knowing. Like not just music, but the arts. You find that when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling um, lonely, or when you're just feeling bad, there's always that song, that favorite song of yours, and we all have different songs that we love to listen to. It could be Celine Dion, it could be Whitney Houston, it could be Mariah Carey or Taylor Swift or whichever, whoever it is. But we always have that song that we turn on and then all of a sudden everything changes. You're at work and you don't have motivation to continue, and then you turn on this song and you're all smiling and your energies are filled up, and that's not just a coincidence. That's what music does, and it's not just something that it's not what do I say? It's not yeah, it's not a coincidence. Like, um science has finally proven that there's a part of our brain that actually doesn't forget music. So because of that, music is now being used to um to s- to for brain memory, but so it's interesting what music is actually able to do if it's tailored well. And I know that music has also led to a lot of complications as well. So that's why, because of that, it's important to help us as artists and also people who are listening to music to know what kind of music we need to listen to be self-conscious of some of these songs, to be conscious of the volumes or the levels, the volume level of the music you listen to at a particular point in time. You never know what it can actually do to you. Um, and also we as artists to be conscious of what we're singing about in our songs. What are you encouraging people to do? What are you talking about in your music? Is it are you encouraging people to smoke their pain away? Are you encouraging them to drink themselves dead? Or what's the message out there? What are you trying to push out there? If you're a poet, if you're a dancer, you know if you're what's that what's your motive? Because many times I always tell people that you don't know who's watching you, out there online, or physically. You could be walking alone on a street and you think, okay, I'm alone. But from how you dress, from how you talk, from the things you do, you could be inspiring a lot of people, or just a few. It could be one person or just two or more, but those people are looking at you, and because of that, um, we need to be careful. We need to be careful about what we're doing. It doesn't mean we need to be uncomfortable and okay, be worried about or who's watching us. But then I think we all have a natural feeling to do good, and the good doesn't have to be the same. You know, we all have that one thing that we are drawn towards. You know, for me, I'm a musician, and I feel very good singing about things that will make people feel good. And we all have different talents. And I'm not a good speaker. That's why every time you're hearing me saying, but when I'm singing, I'm definitely not going to say, but, so that's what I'm trying to say. And if it's sports or anything else, you know, there's so many people looking at you. There's so many people watching you. And how are you inspiring them? How are you making your life and their lives better? Because those two things work together. You can't help somebody else without helping yourself. You can't help yourself without helping somebody else. If it happens any way without the other, um, there's a burnout that happens. Just imagine I'm here and I'm singing songs about me, about the things I want, and nothing about what people need or what people want. I'm not going to have enough people to actually listen to my music because they're going to be like, I'm selfish and I'm singing about myself. And because of that, I won't have anybody buying my music. I won't have anyone coming for my shows, and I'll be broke, and I'll I'll probably get depressed and probably quit music and all that. But then imagine you're doing music for music that makes you feel happy, but at the same time makes others feel happy as well. That means people can connect with you. Um, people can then support you because they know you're singing about something that does not just affect you, but affect them as well, or somebody they know. So, yeah, enough about music for now. Um, I know we talked about music therapy and um, therapy in general, but maybe we can also talk about other forms or other ways that we can um, help ourselves heal from mental health challenges. And okay, many times therapy has been is known for um, that professional bit of, say, psychologists or psychosocial workers who you get to talk to, and they get to screen you and then maybe talk to you in a professional way and help you heal, and maybe give you some medication if necessary, depending on what condition you're having. But I think there are different other kinds of therapy that can help us. And I wouldn't say they would substitute what already is, but they can actually work as an additional kind of help or support or remedy for mental health challenges, or something that can even make the process of healing much more smoother and better. I got to realize how much change or positive change the patients at the mental health unit at the regional referral hospital we have here, they had when I introduced music sessions with them. So we used to have bi-weekly music sessions, and somehow the mental health patients, they felt happy, um, they felt more energized, and they started they were no longer negative about going to see the psychologist for their frequent treatment sessions. They were, because during these music sessions we had with them, we encouraged them to, we encourage them and let them know that the psychologist is not your enemy. You know, they're your friend, and they're trying to help you understand what you're going through, so you can heal, so you can get better, so you can go back home and continue with life before the condition you had, so that you can achieve all those goals that you've had in mind. And and it's something amazing. It's something um, uh, every time I had these sessions, I got to learn something new. I got to learn a new story about someone, and I got to inspire them with my music. And sometimes some of my songs were in English, but then most of them were like, "Oh, we can't understand some of the things you're saying," but then the music it's healing to our hearts. You know, we don't understand the words, but how you're singing and how the melody is moving, it's soothing, it's relaxing, you know. So it was really amazing. And um Nicoletta, do you want to talk about some other forms of um coping with or healing?
Yeah, I mean, music therapy is beautiful what you're describing, Benjamin, and it is true. You don't have to write the songs yourself, which is very nice too to do. I know this helped you just listening to the songs, like a technique, for example, for people that might be feeling anxiety or an extreme sense of emotions overwhelming them. Then you put a song that you like, and you can start pacing up and down until you calm yourself down to a point that you're like, okay, I can continue now with my day. So music can be helped in a big way or even in small moments in your day. And as Benjamin said, it's very important to be aware of what music does to us. So sometimes if you're in a low mood and you're looking to feel better, don't put a sad song. If you put a sad song, then perhaps it's going to keep you in a low mood. Maybe you want to put an uplifting song. It depends all in what you want to do. Sometimes for me, I just like putting acoustic guitar in the back just to calm me down to sleep, to take a shower, just with my thoughts. I don't need even words. I just need a calming melody to just like help me feel better in myself. Another way, as I said earlier, through sports, it's very important for us. Even if you're not an athletic person at all, to get out of the house, to just go for a walk, to do this, this is going to increase hormone levels in your body, and naturally, this is going to happen. You're going to feel better. There's so many different ways. Dancing is another way. You can combine music and physical movement. For example, you can do aerobic dancing or Zumba, that you can literally get tired, so you're feeling productive, you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your physical health, but at the same time, you're listening to uplifting songs, so you're feeling happier, and you keep moving, so you're feeling good in your body too. Then any form of creativity and feeling like something like you like to do, like some people use cooking because they like to create something to see that something is good. Some people like drawing and painting. They like to put their emotions in a paper and draw. And if you feel like sad and angry, perhaps you want to use colors that are a little bit more deep and a little bit more dark. And that's okay. If you want to put it on the paper, put it on the paper. Let it there. Some other times you want to just color with so many different colors, because just looking at it after, it's going to make you happy. I have my own coloring book. Sometimes I just take my pencils, and based on what I want to do, I don't ask myself what I have to do, what I should do. I just ask myself, what do you want to do at the moment? Do you want to grab the color orange and color this orange? It doesn't matter if it's supposed to be green, black, blue. I want it orange, and this is helping me. Sports is a big thing. If you want to start sport, running, I play tennis. It helps a lot, obviously. Any kind of sports, getting a help in general, getting you out of the house, just do something. People like watching movies because they take their minds away of their problems, or reading books. So simple. You can take a book that you really like, it can be fiction. So you can read a story that has nothing to do with your life, can get you away from your problems. It can be a romantic story if you like romantic. Can be anything. Watching comedies really helps. And of course, traditional therapy. But it's important that you feel comfortable enough doing that. And you feel comfortable enough going to someone that you're going to open up to. And knowing that this person is not going to judge you, is not going to spill your secrets. If you have something that you need to talk to them, there is confidentiality, which means they cannot tell this to anybody else. They cannot discuss this, what you're saying to them, with anybody else other than you. And traditional therapy is great too. Of course, something new is meditation, breathing exercises. To be able to calm your emotions, you can put music in the back, light up some candles that can help your smell, because smelling something nice immediately makes us feel better. And then just practice breathing, like staying there with yourself. And yeah, we can talk maybe in another session about mindfulness and about meditation, because it starts to be very helpful for people, even more than therapy. And this is something you can do by yourself. This can be very helpful for people to do. I started doing this too, and it really feels so much better. You really feel so much more present in your life, and that's what everybody wants.
Nice. You talked about dancing, and recently I actually tried out dancing. Dancing wasn't my thing. It's still not yet my thing, but then, yeah. So I got to realize you don't really have to know how to dance to actually dance. As just follow the rhythm, and so I went somewhere and just followed the rhythm, and I actually felt good. I burnt off a lot. I sweated, of course, but then finally, there's a way it felt very relieving, and and yeah, dancing is really nice. I tried meditation, and it's good too. Uh, then I think one other thing is video games, or not just video games, but games. I've learned that just like sports, video games can train your brains to can 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 train your brains to think better. It's okay. I think it also depends on the kind of game, but then some of the games have some kind of strategy, or there's a particular goal or end result that you're supposed to achieve, and there's so many obstacles that are around them. And because of that, you you find that you have to think harder than normal to get past those obstacles and reach your final goal. And I think it's something that can actually train our brains to create solutions for some of the problems that we have in life. And I think some of these alternatives or solutions may not work for you, but some might. You just have to pick something that works for you, something that can um, make you feel rejuvenated, make you feel refreshed up, and pick a or choose a routine, that you can always do this thing that makes you feel good, constantly. It doesn't matter if it's every day or every after some time, but if it's sports, maybe you do it every time, every week. And it's very nice, like every after work, maybe you go and do some volleyball, or I don't know, some sport that you actually love, or basketball or something. It helps you, like, get rid of whatever stress probably you had at work, and all those other things that were mentioned earlier. And like Nicoleta says, it's important to find someone you can talk to, someone you can trust with what you're actually feeling or what you're going through. And they are professionals out there who have studied the skill of actually helping when it comes to mental health challenges. And uh, we need to try and make use of them. You know, um, even here in Uganda, of course, we don't have so many, but at least at our regional referral hospitals, we have at least we have psychologists. And I know at some private clinics we also have some of them. But the thing is, it's important to at least once in a while visit a psychologist to understand, um, to help you understand, or to be better. And this doesn't mean that you only go there when you have a mental health challenge. But generally, if you feel like there's a part of you, uh, of your well-being that is affected somehow, and you don't know how to fix it yourself, you could just you could just visit a psychologist, and they could help you um, uh, get better. And if the step of going to a psychologist is not something you're willing to take yet, you can confide in the people closest to you, like your friends and your family. And like, honestly speaking about your troubles, or speaking about what you're going through, or some of your challenges, can even help you realize how to fix them yourself. And also, it can help you listen to others and get advice from them. I There was a time when I would not publicly speak about my depression, because um, I felt like people wouldn't understand me. You know, how would I stand in front of people and say I had several suicidal attempts, and I don't understand why I'm still alive right now? So, like, some of those kind of things, right now, yeah, I can talk about them, but even now, it kind of is not very. It's still not very easy for me to talk about everything. But then right now, I kind of have a way of summarizing everything, not to make it sound very uh, bad. But yeah, I think we all have things that, say, eventually pile up within us, and then um, they affect us eventually, because we weren't able to speak up, well, because we weren't able to take advantage of the people around us to share and confide in them. And for me, as an artist, I believe that, of course, I believe love conquers all, because many times some of these mental health challenges come about because we don't love each other. And by loving each other doesn't mean you have to cut off your hand for someone. But it just means that if we work together as one, some of these things, some of these mental health conditions or challenges probably would not um, be, or they would not last for long. So I think our time is actually running out for this session. And don't forget, if you're watching this on as a recorded video later on, leave your comments and ask about anything, share about anything to us, and leave it in the comments. If you feel the comments are too public, send us a private message and we will see how to help where we can. Nikoleta, is anything you want to say? Maybe final remarks or
Final remarks for today. Well, I'd say again, you're not alone in this. I hope that guys enjoyed this video, that it actually helped you. And if you need absolutely anything, like something that you really want to hear about for someone else, or something that perhaps you're like, I'm just alone in this, I'm the only person experiencing this, send us a private message, send a comment, and we can talk more about this. And I'm pretty sure you're not alone in this. This is more common than you actually think. Find the person you think that you can trust, talk to them about this. And if you cannot figure out with them, or you cannot figure out by yourself, you can always try a therapist, because they can help you and they want to help you. That will be all. Thank you, everyone.
okay. I see a comment from Martin, says many thanks. Okay. Thanks, Martin. I would like to conclude with a song, just a short a cappella, and it's one of my compositions, and it's just called "If You Could." I think that's the title. Okay. Mm, yeah. Do you ever feel like you're falling down and coming back up is impossible? Does your life feel like you're phasing out? You've got no strength to rise. The people that could have helped, they never seem to care. The people that could have helped, they only love themselves. It's possible to make a call, to make another rise up or fall. What are you waiting for? It's possible to make a call, to make another rise up or fall. What are you standing for? If you could touch the stars in the sky, would you make everything alright? If you had wings and you could fly, would you do all the things you like? Oh, yeah. That was If You Could Touch the Stars in the Sky. So if you are hearing that song somewhere out there and it inspires you to think about something beautiful or something nice, go right ahead and do it. I think everybody has power, and for me, I always like to look at science fiction to try and explain the reality, because sometimes I feel we all superheroes, and right now I'm a musician and that's my superpower, and everybody has their own. So how are you using your superpower? How are you saving the world? So remember, we all have our power, and it could be technology for you out there, it could be dance, it could be art, it could be sports, it could be anything. what are you using your power for? And it doesn't matter um how many people are watching you. It doesn't matter what you are going through, but it matters what you do with what you have. You know, most times they say, if there is that opportunity, if there is that platform you have and you're given an opportunity to stand on it, would you do it? And if you do it, what would you do with it? So yeah, I guess that's something we should think about. And I hope you guys are inspired. I hope you stay happy. I hope you continue to smile and try to smile even when things are hard. If you can't do it yourself, find something that can inspire you to actually smile. It could be a song, it could be a nice written composition or novel by some of those cool writers and authors out there. It could be a nice painting by an amazing artist. It could be just watching somebody dance or you dancing yourself. It could be doing some exercise, but whatever it is, find that right routine for you and do it and just try to be happy as much as you can. So thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you guys again next Monday at 6 p.m. same time. We will be sharing the next topic on our platform. So just look out for a poster soon. And yeah.
Thank you, everyone.